Hey sports fans, welcome to this week's edition of Tahoe Sportsline. We have a special Olympic-themed version of Tahoe Sportsline. Last week, opening ceremonies. This week, we're coming into week 2 of the Olympics. Before we get started, let's talk about Facebook.
Well, the Facebook contest goes 2 weeks since it's the Olympics, so if you want to join in, it's not too late. We just want to know which Tahoe Olympian is going to have the most medals when they return back to the States.
Speaking of Tahoe Olympians, we've got some gold medal news to share here in the Tahoe market.
Yeah, we do. Jamie Anderson from Sierra Tahoe grew up here in the South Shore, gold medalist in the slopestyle.
The Golden Girl.
Yep,
Love
way
it.
to go. And, congratulations Sierra Tahoe as well, being there to support her, throughout.
Well, they've had a lot of Olympians, and we talked about it last week, the Olympians from the South Shore, because they're primarily in the slopestyle and the board games and the half pipe. Now we're going to talk about the North Shore athletes as we move to alpine skiing. First, I'm going to talk about at the Super G, there's 3 of them competing. Tim Jitloff, he's had a lot of experience skiing in very warm conditions like this. You never know what's going to happen. He just may be a surprise medalist because of the conditions.
Tim Jitloff's highest finish in the World Cup Super G was a 5th. I think it's going to be pretty challenging for him to make the podium.
Yeah, I agree with you. And my money's on the old guy, Bode Miller. I mean, he's still having a pretty decent season. He's had 4th place finish, a 6th place finish, hovering right around top 5. I think if the Americans have a shot, it's going to be Bode Miller in this discipline.
And then there's Travis Ganong, who was the highest finishing U.S. male in the downhill, and he's at the top of his game. Probably one of our best chances for a medal besides Bode Miller in this event.
I agree. And the Olympics really are about who's doing best and who's peaking now. And Travis Ganong certainly is racing his best right now.
He is skiing well. My heart, prayers, everything. We want Travis to medal. However, the odds are stacked against him. This is a tough field. I think it's probably an outside shot for him to medal in this discipline.
We'll still cheer for him, though.
You absolutely. And speaking of old guys, Marco Sullivan is probably the senior at the age of 35. 3rd Olympics he's been in. But in all honesty, it shows a kind of athlete by being at his games. But I think the younger guys are going to have a better chance than he has in medaling.
I'd love to put my money on the Squaw Valley product, but he could be a dark horse. I'm just not going to bet on it.
The best part about Marco, he's so humble, so down to earth. He's been on the network a number of times. My heart's out for him. Again, stacked field in this discipline. And
then finally, Julia Mancuso in the women's Super G. And the question is, will Cinderella continue to wear the glass slipper? I just think she may have some more magic in that magical bag of tricks of hers. So I think she's going to pull one off in one of her favorite disciplines.
Yeah, Julia had a great combine, but struggled in the downhill. The Super G is close to the downhill, which doesn't seem to bode too well for Julia, but, I'm not going to count her out.
She's got some track history here. She's got some previous results. She's a veteran on the U.S. ski team. Skis out of Squaw Valley, North Shore native. Got to pull for her emotionally, and I think she's got a decent shot to get on the podium.
So which Tahoe Olympian is going to come back with the most medals?
I say Julia Mancuso.
I would have to agree. I think Julia Mancuso is going to have 2, maybe even 3.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Tahoe Sportsline. Make sure you log on to our Facebook page. We'll see you next week.